Stories for Boys by Tony Garth. Nude Nigel. Nigel hated wearing clothes. Every morning, Nigel's mother would struggle to get him dressed. "This shirt tickles. Take it off," he would shout. "These socks make my feet itch. I can't stand it." As soon as his mother put his socks on, Nigel would take them off again. Eventually, Nigel would be dressed, but not at all comfortable. Nigel would be so uncomfortable that he would wriggle and squirm and scratch until he just couldn't stand it any longer. It didn't matter where they were. When Nigel had to take his clothes off, nothing could stop him. Even in a busy supermarket, his mother only had to turn her back for 1 minute before Nigel was completely nude. It was very embarrassing. It was the same at school. If Miss Harper took her eyes off him, even for a moment, Nigel would be out of his clothes in a flash. The other children giggled at him, but Nigel didn't care. He was happy when he wasn't wearing anything at all. One day, Nigel and his mother went to the travel agents. They were going away and had gone to pick up their tickets. Nigel's mother was so busy putting the tickets safely in her handbag and talking excitedly about going away that she didn't notice Nigel unbuttoning his shirt. As they walked along the street, Nigel wriggled out of his clothes and dropped them in a trail on the pavement behind him. Nigel's mother wondered why everyone was staring and giggling at them. She looked down to see Nude Nigel. "Oh, Nigel," she said, "your clothes are filthy. Luckily, we have to buy you some more for going away, although I don't know why I bother. I don't suppose you'll wear them." "My little boy needs some clothes," said Nigel's mother to the woman in the clothing store. "Yes, I think he does," agreed the woman. "You do look nice," said Nigel's mother as they left the clothing store. "Please try to keep them on," she added, "and we'll go out for lunch." Nigel tried to sit quietly in the restaurant, but his new shirt scratched his neck. His pants felt very uncomfortable, and his new socks itched even more than his old ones. "Whoops," said Nigel. "I've dropped my fork on the floor. Will you get it for me, please?" Nigel's mother disappeared under the table to reach the fork. When she reappeared, Nigel was nude again. "Oh, Nigel," said his mother. "Sorry," said Nigel, "but they were just too uncomfortable." A rather serious-looking waiter walked over to the table. "I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave," he said. "We have a very strict dress code in this restaurant. Clothes must be worn at all times." A few days later, Nigel and his parents were packed and ready. "In a few hours, we'll be sitting on a sunny beach," said Nigel's dad, "and you can take your clothes off as much as you like." Nigel couldn't wait. He took his clothes off in a taxi. He took his clothes off again in the airport lounge. He even took his clothes off on the airplane. It wasn't long before they arrived at their hotel. It was a beautiful sunny day, and they decided to go straight to the beach. Everyone on the beach had their bathing suits on, so Nigel's parents began to change. "Come on, Nigel! You can take your clothes off now and no one will mind. Nigel?" But Nigel would not take off his clothes. "The sun's too strong," he said, "and besides, I don't want to get sunburned." The end.